What has changed the most for you in the last 10 years? What music are you loving and how does it affect your life currently? What's the furthest away from home that you've been? And what are you thankful for and what are you hoping for tomorrow?
Oh, these are some loaded questions. How long have we got to talk? Because I don't know if this is going to be a short conversation.
We could do it for like 15 to 20 minutes.
All right. I could talk about music for about that long, I reckon.
Well, we can just do that question then.
All right. So, what's changed in the last 10 years? Was that it?
Yep. If you want to start with that one.
Fuck. How old am I? 23, 13. Well, I have one parent now, so that's...
That's pretty big.
What else? It was in a cult. I mean...
Do you want to tell me about that cult or do you want to skip that completely?
Oh, that's there's just not a short answer. Like, the shortest you could sum it down to is there are good people with a lot of good intentions.
Yep.
But it also feels like no one wants to think outside of the box of the safety of this. Like, here's the safety of our community and our beliefs, and let's not probe outside of that.
Okay. And you understand the safety aspect, though?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to, and that's the thing. Like, I've watched a few Louis Theroux docos, and he's got one. He did one on Westboro Baptist Church, which was mind blowing. Then he did one on Nazis as well, and both I was just like, what the fuck? Like, these people are real. But the way they talk, and especially I guess any kind of community, but especially within evangelical Christianity, whenever someone pokes and prods at that, there's always a comeback, and there's always, but this verse is for this and this, and so you just continually put up walls, it seems, and nothing ever gets in. And that's not everyone. Not everyone's. It's trying to not be controversial, but I mean, like, for me at least, but it makes sense because it's so much easier to just live in this thing. And I think since I've kind of probably lost touch with my faith, that's a whole nother conversation. But I think me losing touch with my faith, even, you realize, like, fuck, it was so much easier to just sit in this weird sect of beliefs because you just kind of build your identity in that and everything around it. But then once things don't line up, it gets a little bit weird. But yeah, the safety aspect it makes a lot of sense, and it's easy to just kind of sit and I'm doing this for this time, or like even studying now. Like, for me, studying is kind of the same. Like, it's so easy to just, I have class 3 days a week. I have this to work on and this. Obviously, it's not exactly the same as a religious organization,
But would you say that anything that has an aspect of belonging would have that?
Have what exactly? Like the safety?
The safety aspect, but also this is safe for me, so I'm going to build walls.
I don't know. Hey, I think a lot of communities, a lot of things. Like, even if you want to look at the Newcastle hardcore scene, for example.
Yep.
It's wherever something's cliquey, it's always defined by what, like, are you one of us?
Yeah.
And what do you do? What do you say? And it's about fitting in. And as much as the evangelical church doesn't want to admit it, and they always, I can't tell how many fucking sermons I've heard where it's like, we love everyone unless you're gay. And I'm like, fucking get a grip. But, you know, there's this talk of, like, everyone's welcome and everyone, you don't have to do anything. But ultimately, I never found at home in church because I was like, I don't like this shitty music. Yep. I don't like the structure. I don't like the repetitive nature. And for me, even, as you've gathered from this conversation, I was swearing even around people. And I was just talking with someone yesterday, actually. We were just talking about funny things in the church. And when Chance the Rapper first put out that album, and every evangelical was like, oh my God, Chance, he's a Christian. How good is it? He's preaching. And I'm like, he's calling women bitches. And, like, he's using the N-word. That's not very Christian. But if I say shit, everyone's like, I'm like, just that kind of stuff. But I think all that to say, in any kind of group, you have things that kind of make it or break it, I think, to an extent.
Yep.
At least in my experience. I haven't come across a community with belonging as a value where you truly accept it. Because even hardcore, man, like, no one wants to admit it, but there's so many, and it's nearly trendy now to be like, we accept everyone and this and that. But there was a Newcastle band that had a T-shirt of like Satan, like having sex with this chick on it, and I was like, you support women, but that seems a little bit degrading toward women. Like, there's this weird.
Yep. It's very odd.
I'm like, yeah, let's support women and let's have some girl get fucked in the ass by Satan. Yeah, awesome. That's super wholesome.
That's super wholesome.
Just shit like that, and I think so I think a lot of places that talk about belonging, it's only when you fit the mold kind of thing. In my experience.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I've always liked your honesty, Sam. And so
I'm not really known for beating around the bush, am I?
No, which is the best. It's refreshing and I like it. And I think it unnerves some people who are good at beating around the bush.
which is probably also why I never had too much luck in church, especially once I started listening to guys like Pete Enns, for example, and he's like, I don't think the Exodus happened. I'm like, yeah, that actually makes sense. And I go to church, like the Bible groups, and I'd be like, this doesn't make sense. And they're like, but it's in the Bible, bro. Like, it says right here. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I don't think God created the earth in 7 days. Like, but bro, it's in the Bible. I'm like, well, I'm not saying that he didn't. I'm just saying it didn't happen in 7 days. You just can't grasp the concept.
And that's back to the mold thing you were saying. Some molds are flexible, and some molds
for sure.
let people in, but it's still moldy. Whereas some thought patterns are so concrete that if you try and flex little bits of it, they think it'll shatter the whole thing. So
Which
then
was
they
what I found
defend
with
it.
the evangelical church. I'm like,
Yep.
Look, I'm not saying that it's not real. I'm just saying, like, you really believe that some fucking whale swallowed a bloke, spat him out on the shore because he didn't want to go. I'm like, look, maybe, maybe. But it probably makes sense that it was just a story with a moral lesson at the end of it. But no, the Bible is all factual. It is be all the end all.
Yep. Which is just fascinating. All right. Okay. So then what music are you loving currently and how does music affect your life?
Oh, it's still going.
Well, that is good.
That's probably going to be like terrible audio, but
no.
I think right now it's been like the other day. I don't know if you know of Hate56. He's just some guy that goes around filming hardcore bands. He will just film sets. And so the other day, like, he just came out to Australia for Invasion Fest and a bunch of other like tours that had Knocked Loose out here and Malevolent Terror. So he did a few runs of that. And the other day I was just editing, and it started with Justice for the Damned. Then it was just live sets of like Incendiary, Knocked Loose. I think Turnstile was in there.
Yep.
But that's all I've been doing. I think lately it's been Justice for the Damned a lot.
Yep.
Very good band. I'm trying to think what else I've been listening to. Like, maybe I need to bring up Spotify. I drove to Orange and back I got back yesterday, and I listened to hip hop most of the way there, which was different. I think some notable favorites would have been Chillin' It, a Sydney guy.
Nice.
But it's just like, it's been weird shit. Like, there's that Doja Cat song, like Say So. And I think for about a fucking 3 days straight, that's all I listened to. And I was like, this song's so catchy. I don't know why. What else? There was Sanction. Sanction are also very good.
Nice. They're Australian too?
No, they're from the States, I think. Some hardcore's gotten so weird now where it's like, it's less the tough guy two-step shit and now more kind of beat down, but it's not metalcore and it's not deathcore.
Yep.
So Sanction, they're not beat down, but they're not metalcore or anything. It's super weird.
I met this guy at work who is covered in tats, and the first conversation we had was like, oh yeah, man, I love hardcore. Yeah, I love hardcore too. And I got so excited because no one likes hardcore at that place.
Yeah.
And then he was like, yeah, I love, and then he named all of these two-step bands, and I was like, oh man,
Yeah, they
I'm
can
not
get a
into
bit of a
that.
punish too. Like, some of them are good, but
Yep.
I think there are some bands, like, you just listen to them, you're like, fuck, I've listened to the same thing for 40 minutes
Exactly.
straight. Like,
Yep.
I've just been two-stepping for 40 minutes. Also, actually, I've been really, really into Pianos Become the Teeth, Became the Teeth.
yeah, they're amazing.
This is so fucking good. Oh, and Super Heaven. Heaps of Super Heaven shit. Housemates. Give me a sec.
Who are they? Housemates, best.
Oh, they good eggs. Good eggs. Yeah, a lot of Super Heaven stuff like that. It definitely Pianos Became the Teeth, or Become Teeth, whatever the fucking name is. It's just like it's so depressing to listen to, but at the same time, it's weirdly comforting.
Yeah,
like I listen
definitely.
to it, and it's like a strange warm hug in winter. But so I'm listening to a lot of that, and I've been trying to play different things at the moment. So my guitar collection's getting out of hand.
Sweet.
I got a 7-string the other day. I swapped a guy my shitty old LTD I didn't play, and I got like a cheap Ibanez 7-string. So I'll probably I'll do a little bit of stuff to it, but it's already pretty good.
Nice.
I've been playing that, and then I realized I've only got one guitar now, which is Tristan Harris's old one.
Nice.
It's got EMGs in it, and it's the only one I've got at the moment with humbuckers because I've got a single coil telly and then my Jazzmaster. And so I was playing that the other day at the Godin, and I was like, this sounds so heavy. It sounds so much heavier than the Jazzmaster. And I was like, oh yeah, it's like EMGs are sick, but I'm like, oh, it's also probably just because they're humbuckers, and I don't have anything else with humbuckers except the 7-string. And then that's just filthy.
How does music affect your life? Like, what changes because of the music you listen to?
Oh, I think my mood. If I listen to Pianos Become the Teeth all day long, I'm just fucking miserable. I think it depends on the day too. Like, today's a bit of a fucking low day, so it's, I think, just not sleeping and driving a lot, and then I got my anxiety medication this morning, and then all this corona shit too. It's just fucking depressing. Like, I don't know how many different fucking conspiracy theories I've read that China's behind it, and then like there's all these different things going on, and some of them you look at and you're like, that kind of makes sense. Oh, yeah, I forgot about it. I'll sort that out in a sec. Yeah, might as well. Cheers. I went to make a pizza before, and then had a cigarette, then got distracted, and then here we are. If that isn't the epitome of living with ADD, I don't know what is.
That is a very good example.
People don't get it. There's just like, I was like, I'm going to have a cigarette. I'm going to have something to eat. And then I was like, what was I doing before? I don't know. I'm just going to go back to playing guitar. And then here we are talking about music. I was in the middle of something. I've forgotten it.
Last question then.
Yeah.
Why is it that we, because I'm one of them, are drawn to sad, angry music? And if happy music makes us happy, why aren't we drawn to happy music?
Because happy music's shit.
I agree.
Like, I can't tell you the last fucking happy song I found. I'm like, this is cool. Like,
this is a good happy song.
If there's anything that's like, if it's not sad, it's just like weird hip hop, and there's no real substance to a lot of it. It's just like, let's party and just sing about shit. And I'm like, this is catchy. I think for me, like, it honestly started like when Mum was sick.
Okay.
When I was a kid, and I listened to was like Foo Fighters and Nirvana, and I got into that musically, but I found myself listening to the stuff with substance more. Like, musically, I was attracted, but then as I grew older and I got into heavier music, I especially like melodic hardcore.
Yep.
Like bands like Being as an Ocean, Casey's another one, Touche Amore, La Dispute, Vacant Home. Just all these. There's so many other ones, but like those are the ones that are always in my mind. And just music where it's I think also probably like, and I do blame the Christian thinking, but for a long time just thinking I'm a piece of shit, and then so you listen to this music where it's I suck and I can't give enough, and I think at least for me, and especially I guess as trendy as it sounds, my journey with mental health and just my anxiety over the last couple of years, which has been fun, but I think just the feelings of inadequacy or not being able to give at times, or even going through breakups, and I think that music's always been more relatable than happy music.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, you know what I mean? So I think musically it's always been appealing, but I think as well, like the substance in it is always appealing. Like a lot of the Knock Loose stuff, or even the first Justice for the Damned record, a lot of it is just, I think the guitarist wrote it post breakup with his partner at the time, and so a lot of it's just very, very heavy kind of. I'm not enough. I'm like, fuck. I know that feeling all too well. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's a lot of it is just emotional. Like even bands like Touche Amore, like Jeremy's such a talented lyricist, and he just relates in such like he just writes in a very relatable way. Like I think there are so many Touche lyrics that come to mind where I'm just like, fuck, I could get that tattooed. Like it's just.
Yep.
I think one of the best was I think it's from Home Away from Home.
Yep.
There's a line where he said. I can't afford to eat as much as I would like to be, and my bills won't pay themselves, so I'll come up with another scheme. I'm like, fuck, yeah, that's about everyone's situation with Corona.
Yep.
But just things like that, even when, like, their third record was, like, their happy record, because he's like, I don't have anything sad to sing about, so, like, what are we going to do? but I think a lot of the way he writes is just super relatable, even the last record where he talked about his mum dying of cancer, for me, because there are plenty of songs about that kind of stuff, but just the way that he wrote, I was like, oh, this just sums it up. It was one song, 8 seconds, and the opening line is, there is no dress rehearsal, just a script that I've never read, and a sad story that is universal, a vague idea of what to expect. And for me, like, after Mum died, you know, like that was, I remember even the morning she passed away, that was the feeling. It was just like, oh. So yeah, all that to say, just the way I think a lot of those kind of guys write, I don't know, just hit something inside of you, you know, just that emotional core. But it is all, a lot of it's pretty fucking depressing.
Yeah, and like even this time, I'm trying not to read so much media. I'm trying not to listen to so much of that sort of music. Like I'm affected less by angry music because I'm just not naturally angry. And so I love angry music because of the rhythms. Sad music can hit me sometimes. And so I've just avoided La Dispute for quite a long time because they have featured in some of the saddest moments of my life just because I felt belonging with them. And so this time I'm just not listening to them.
And I think that's also a lot of it too, you know. And I think just especially like with all this Corona shit, you know, but just hearing music and knowing that you're not alone in the way that you feel. And I think,
definitely.
Which in itself can be a rabbit hole and a trap because it kind of just festers those feelings because it's all you think about and it's all you're telling yourself. But I think that's a big one. Like, you know, if you jump on the Amity Afflictions page, for example, and like they're a bit of a garbage band these days, but there are so many young people on there that are saying, oh my God, your music saved my life.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't want to live and like, oh, someone else doesn't want to live. But I hear what you're saying about angry music, and I think I feel the same for the most part. Like, you know, like a lot of the deathcore shit where it's just purely angry, like, humanity sucks. I'm like, I don't fucking care, this is cool. But as soon as you start like leaning over into the sad kind of music, you're like, oh, I suddenly just feel unbelievably alone. And I hate myself. All the politically charged kind of stuff, you're like, as soon as it's like,
the worst.
As soon as it's like self-reflective, you're like, oh, this is great for about 5 minutes. And then, I don't know about you, but I'll get to this point. I had it the other night when I was listening to pianos and I was sitting there and I just had it in the background when I was editing or something, and then all of a sudden, like, I was just like, oh, I just feel like shit. No, I don't want to do anything. I just feel miserable. Like, you all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you just hit this wall and you're like, oh, I have I just want to sleep.
Yeah, I just want to sleep. Actually, sleep wouldn't be a bad idea during quarantine. We could all get all the sleep we need.
To be honest, I think Billy Joe Armstrong was years ahead of everyone when he wrote "Wake Me Up When September Ends."
Yep, definitely.
He was. I mean, fuck.
He was prophesying.
Because everyone was saying, "Oh, like, where's the Simpsons episode about this? What, how long is it gonna last?" I'm like, Billy Joe's already over it. He already said September. September's the time. Although the way things are going over here, fuck.
Oh yeah, if everyone keeps going to the beach and hanging out with everyone else,
we're all fucking fucked.
Yeah.
I saw a lady today, and like, I don't know why people do this for a long time. I think from the first time someone told me cough into your elbow, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Still, I fucking see people cough onto their fucking hands. And like today, I went into Coles and you had to sanitize your hands before you go into the store. Yep. And I was like, oh, this is annoying. This is a punish. And then I was like, actually, this is sick, because the amount of gremlins that are like walking around here, coughing all over their hands, it's just unbelievable. But yeah, there's more people hanging out in Manly. Everyone's just having a holiday, and I'm like, sick. We're all going to get corona because Sydney doesn't want to take it seriously.
Yeah. Just stay out of Sydney. Hopefully it's corona. I mean, it's quarantined into Sydney. No, and then Newcastle will be fine.
No, because they're all like, oh, we're on holiday. Let's go to
Newcastle. Dang it.
I don't think ever in my life have I wanted to be back in Townsville more than right now. Like, they've got 10 cases or something, I think. I'm like, there's no one going to Townsville. No one's like, oh, dang it, I'm going to have to cancel Townsville.
True. All right, I have to shut this down. We went to 22 minutes. So I'm just going to stop the recording here.